Good day or evening, dear participants. In this second lecture of Module 6, we are going to focus on the role of the four processes in curriculum development and implementation. Let us introduce this topic. The words processes and components are interchangeably used in this module to name the governance, the management, the administration, and the quality assurance. As we alluded to already, it is a fact that the four processes play a pivotal role in the process of curriculum development and implementation. In this section, we look at the importance of each component in the development and implementation of the curriculum through the lenses of centralization, decentralization, and localization, according to Kucherova in 2020. The rationale behind adding the dimensions of these three elements to the four processes is that they have significant implications for the quality of the education provided. In fact, centralization can lead to more uniformity in education policy and standards across the country, but it can also lead to less flexibility and responsiveness to local needs. Moreover, decentralization can lead to more innovation and responsiveness to local needs, but it can also lead to greater disparities in educational quality across regions in a country, OECD 2018. Localization can provide even greater flexibility and responsiveness, but it can also lead to greater disparities in educational quality across schools, as Caldwell argued in 2009. This section explores deeper into the four processes of curriculum development and implementation, examining them from the perspectives of centralization, decentralization, and localization. What is the role of governance? Governance plays a crucial role in the development and implementation of the curriculum, and the approaches to centralization, decentralization, and localization have implications for how governance structures interact with the curriculum. Let's explore these concepts in more detail. What about centralization? Centralization of the curriculum refers to a top-down approach where decision-making authority resides primarily at the national or central level. In this model, the central government or a national education authority has significant control over curriculum development, content, standards, and assessments, according to Bray 1991. Centralization can ensure consistency, uniformity, and alignment with national goals. It allows for the development of a standardized curriculum that can be implemented across different regions. The role of governance in centralization involves establishing policies, guidelines, and frameworks for curriculum development, setting national standards and goals, and ensuring compliance with these standards. The central government or education authorities also provide support, resources, and oversight to ensure the effective implementation of the curriculum. Despite the benefits of centralized curriculum development and implementation, some significant challenges can hinder effective curriculum development, and especially the implementation of the curriculum, as Guaddard, Pont, Hittanen, and Huang argued in their paper in 2020. Some of the common challenges are: 1. Centralized curriculum development and implementation often prioritize uniformity and consistency across a large geographic area or diverse student population. However, this can limit the flexibility and adaptability of the curriculum to cater to the unique needs, contexts, and learning styles of different regions or communities. 2. In a centralized system, decision-making authority rests primarily with the central government or education authorities. This can result in limited input and participation from local stakeholders, such as teachers, parents, and community members. Excluding their perspectives and expertise may lead to a curriculum that does not adequately address local needs and realities. 3. Centralized curriculum development processes can be slow and bureaucratic, making it challenging to respond quickly to changing educational needs, emerging trends, or evolving demands of the job market. This can result in a curriculum that becomes outdated or fails to prepare students for current or future challenges, and in the process, we observe a slow response to changing needs. 4. A centralized curriculum may not sufficiently incorporate local cultural perspectives, histories, languages, and values. This can lead to a sense of alienation among students who feel disconnected from their own cultural heritage. It may also hinder the development of cultural understanding and appreciation, and in the process, render the curriculum less relevant to the learner and the community. 5. Centralization may overlook the diverse educational needs and resource disparities across regions or communities. A standardized curriculum developed without considering these differences can exacerbate educational inequities and increase disparities, and at the same time deepen the achievement gap between advantaged and disadvantaged students or regions. 6. Implementing a centralized curriculum across a large system can be complex and challenging. It requires ensuring adequate teacher training, the availability of resources, and infrastructure. Lack of alignment between the centralized curriculum and local teaching practices or resources can hinder effective implementation. 7. Centralized curriculum decisions may face resistance or opposition from various stakeholders who perceive the curriculum as imposing top-down control or neglecting their interests. This can lead to conflicts, reduced buy-in, and challenges in implementation. What about decentralization? According to OECD in 2019, decentralization, on the other hand, involves the transfer of decision-making authority and responsibilities to lower levels of governance, such as regional or local education authorities, schools, or communities. It aims to promote local autonomy and adaptability by allowing stakeholders at the grassroots level to have a say in the curriculum. Furthermore, in a decentralized system, governance plays a role in devolving powers and decision-making authority to lower levels, which has the effect of empowering them while also providing support, guidance, and coordination. It establishes policies and frameworks that allow for local adaptation, encourage stakeholder participation, and ensure accountability and quality across various decentralized entities. Despite the benefits of a decentralized curriculum, there are some significant challenges that the process can face and hinder effective curriculum development and implementation, as Guedard, Pont, Hittanen, and Huang argued in their paper in 2020. Some of the common challenges are: 1. Decentralization can result in variations in the quality and content of the curriculum across different regions or communities. This may compromise the overall quality of education through lack of consistency of processes and reduce opportunities for students who do not have access to quality education. 2. Decentralization requires that local authorities or schools have the necessary resources and capacity to develop and implement the curriculum effectively, especially for those emerging needs in their regions that do not exist in other regions of the country. However, in some cases, they may lack the necessary resources, including funding, qualified teachers, or appropriate infrastructure, to develop and implement a curriculum suited to their needs. 3. Decentralization may result in curriculum fragmentation, making it difficult to maintain coherence and consistency across different regions or schools. This can lead to a lack of clarity in terms of the goals and objectives of the curriculum, leading to confusion among stakeholders. 4. Decentralization may lead to inequities and disparities in the quality of education, particularly if different regions or communities have varying levels of resources and capacity. Students from disadvantaged communities may not receive the same quality of education as students from more affluent regions. 5. Decentralization may make it difficult to ensure oversight and accountability for curriculum development and implementation. Local authorities or schools may have varying degrees of autonomy, which can lead to a lack of consistency in the implementation of the curriculum and challenges in ensuring compliance with national standards. 6. Decentralization can lead to a lack of coordination and collaboration between different stakeholders involved in curriculum development and implementation. This can make it challenging to ensure that the curriculum meets the needs of all students and that it is aligned with national educational goals. 7. Decentralization may face resistance or opposition from the central government or education authorities, who perceive it as a loss of control over curriculum development and implementation. This can result in conflicts between central and local authorities and may lead to challenges in implementing the curriculum. What about localization? Governance in a localized setup of the curriculum takes decentralization further by emphasizing the need to tailor the curriculum to meet the specific needs, contexts, and cultures of local communities. According to Leet and Thomas in 2018, Governance recognizes that education should be relevant, meaningful, and responsive to the local environment. Governance in a localized curriculum context involves creating mechanisms for community engagement, involving local stakeholders, and enabling their active participation in curriculum development and decision-making. It may establish guidelines or frameworks that encourage the integration of local knowledge, languages, and cultural perspectives into the curriculum. Additionally, governance may support capacity building and provide resources to facilitate the effective localization of the curriculum. Take note that the challenges that localization may encounter are more or less similar to those of decentralization. In conclusion, governance plays a crucial role in all three approaches to curriculum development and implementation. In centralization, it focuses on setting national standards and ensuring compliance. In decentralization, it facilitates the transfer of decision-making authority to lower levels while providing support and coordination. In localization, governance enables community engagement, tailors the curriculum to local needs, and ensuring the integration of local perspectives. The specific role of governance will depend on the chosen approach and the educational context of a particular country or region. If you have any questions or challenges, please use the discussion forum of Module 63 under Lecture 2 to pose questions and answer other participants' questions as well. Thank you for your attention. Let us reflect. We looked at the centralization, decentralization, and localization in the governance process. Now, what questions should we start asking ourselves? What comes to my immediate thinking is 1. What are the benefits and challenges of centralization, decentralization, and localization of the curriculum taking into account your own context? 2. How does governance play a role in establishing policies, frameworks, and guidelines for curriculum development and implementation in different approaches? 3. What are some of the factors that influence the choice of centralization, decentralization, or localization of the curriculum in a particular educational context? Reflect in writing on these 3 questions, using the Gibbs Reflective Cycle Guide, which will be shared with you in this module. Compile your reflection in the e-journal available within the e-learning platform in use in this self-paced online course. Share your reflections with your colleagues at work, and also share them on the Community of Practice platform, which will be shared with you. In conclusion, we have explored the 4 processes of curriculum development and implementation, namely governance, management, administration, and quality assurance. We have also examined how these processes are influenced by the approaches of centralization, decentralization, and localization of the curriculum. We have seen that each approach has its benefits and challenges, and that the role of governance varies depending on the chosen approach and the educational context. We have learned that there is no one-size-fits-all solution for curriculum development and implementation, and that the choice of approach should be based on the needs, contexts, and cultures of the students, teachers, and communities involved in the curriculum. If you have any questions or challenges with any of the concepts discussed in this lecture, please use the discussion forum of Module 6 under Lecture 2 to ask questions and answer other participants' questions as well. Thank you for your attention.